Next week I'm going to take the Pajero to Thompson Speedway. My brother's going to come. He's bringing his E36 race car. So maybe mid this week I'm going to prep the car, prep the truck, and get that ready to go. I want to show you what's going on in the shop lately. It's been a lot of grinding basically. I haven't done a lot of updates because it's just really just not that interesting. One thing I can say that's kind of interesting to share is that this rust inhibitor really works. Like, this is not the most climate controlled space you've ever seen. Like, the roof is metal and there's no insulation, so it gets like hot upstairs and it's humid sometimes. So I've been running fans, and with this rust inhibitor, which is like a water-based, very thin coating, they claim you can just prime over it, but I don't believe that. I'm not going to do that. But it hasn't rusted. So we're at like over a month probably with bare metal in a non-climate controlled setting, and it's not rusting. So knock on wood, but that's good. In that time, I've got off a lot of what was remaining. Like, it's this rubbery seam sealer slash undercoat. While we're looking at this, I can show you some details you might not usually see on an E30 because you don't look at the underneath like this. These are transmission rails. Like, the mount is like a T-shaped bolt that goes in and slides back. This is like a racing piece from AmSpeed. Ignore my wrist, it's cut. These weld on obviously to reinforce the sheet metal, so I put those on while I could. I also stitch welded the throat to the bell housing area, frame rails, started stitching the floor, and moving my way back. What's been funny is that, like, the only plug I have for 220 is up there, so I have to run like the welder like stretched across, and this is all I can reach. So I ordered an extension cord so I can do more. I can of course push this outside and push it in that, but you guys probably see me work on elements a lot. My wife Megan owns 6 of these for her business, so I'm always working on elements. I like to keep that bay clean. I could probably start a YouTube channel about elements that would be more popular than talking about race cars. But anywho, the bottom, like, this is all fuel tank and fuel fill hose stuff. All these old brackets, so I'm gonna take all these off. This is a hose, like a filler hose to the tank. I'm gonna cut that flush and make like a teardrop shape thing to cap it off. These are seatbelt reinforcements. I'm gonna leave them because they span 2 pieces of the car, and I believe they act as reinforcements. Like, the way they're built suggests that. I do have to get all this crap out, and it's getting hard. Like, the further I get, the harder it is to reach some of this stuff. These are handbrake cable tubes. I cut them back here. They ran back further. I'm gonna cut them here and just pull it out, and then I can easily clean that area out because obviously I don't need those anymore. Need a little patch for the floor, and I don't know, coming along. Like, a lot of this stuff can go, this can go. It's just a lot of work. My buddy Nick might help me out with a couple patch panels. Like, this thing's just a little jammed up. If he has a donor E30, he might be able to cut that out for me. I still have to do the rear air jack sleeves, but I want to do this first and just clean that all up first. Here's a real tough area to get this undercoating out because it's like tight, and there's not a lot of tools I can fit in there. So yeah, other than that, there's like no rust under here or anything, which is cool. There was some up here. These are from this place called Valka's Garage. It's like an OEM replacement replica for the jack pad, which I'll never use again, but I wanted to fix it right. And when I can set up some more tools, I'll clean this all up so it looks nice. I already did this one up here too. In addition to that, the front jack stand sleeves are done. Those are in. And I need to flip the car over to finish the other side, but good enough for now. This is the Group A master cylinder mount. I never welded underneath because I couldn't reach it, but now I can. So that's sort of where we're at. There's just like a million things. This is my blast shield here for when I'm using the wire brush so I don't get dust all over the whole place. Looking at some other sheet metal here, there's not a whole lot to be done. So this is when the roll cage goes in. These reinforce the steering column, but they weld to the roll cage. These are the rear jack stand sleeves, which are prepped but obviously not in. These are strut tower tops. I have to cut off the top of the front strut towers and weld these on. I have a few like the hood, since I'm using an OEM hood. This is a piece that was missing from the car. It's the pivot for the hood. I have like several of them somehow. I'm not really sure how that happened. So lots to weld, and of course the roll cage here. I'm still sort of in a decision-making process about this cage. This one's from Custom Cages. If it's done correctly, it can get homologated, but it won't look exactly like the DTM cage. It'll be very close. But if you look at cars like Vink is producing, his are exact replicas for the most part. Matt's Vanderbrand has kind of gone away from doing that, but the Vink cars still look legit. So I'll have to decide when the time comes. Victor can make me one that looks exactly right, but I need to decide what the goal is here. So they're both safe. This one here is probably safer because it's fully developed in modern times and not years ago. But yeah, this is the underside. I found using the rotisserie, when you have this angle, if you go past, it's really hard to get up with one person, but from like here to here to here is fine. So I've been like manipulating it back and forth on my own without too much trouble. But if you want to do the full flip, it's kind of tricky with one person. You really need a lot of strength, even though I tried to center the mass as well as I could by raising and lowering it. Subi, still working on this. This needs some tuning help, but otherwise it's fine. No big change there. I got a wideband from my friend that I've been logging with, so working on that. Gearbox, a good update here. I've got a nice package to send this off to. It's going to go out soon for the gear set installation. This obviously is going to get packed better than this, but these are all the parts they need plus the one I broke. I have a friend in Italy who has all these ex-touring car parts, and he offered to sell me the piece that I need, and I ended up buying a whole spare transmission case from him. So that's on the way. That was like probably a month in the making since I broke that thing, and it's the only one I've found since. I can't find any others. No one has them, so I'm glad I have it. Bill, who you guys probably mostly know, has graciously offered to repair the one I broke, so there'll be two options. He's doing some pretty sophisticated machining on that thing to fix it, so that'll be awesome. That's about it. The Pajero is going to come in here. I'll get this thing done soon. The Pajero will come in. I'll nut and bolt it for next weekend, maybe tomorrow or something. This has a check engine code that I cannot get rid of. I can't remember what the code is. It's for an oxygen sensor malfunction. It's not like the PO 420. It's something I've never seen before in 11 years of working on elements. So it's like the oxygen sensor is like completely dead, but they're both brand new, and the cat's brand new, and all this stuff. It just won't go away. People are saying the ECM might need to be replaced. I hope not. I'm about to just drive it to Honda, find out what happens. That's it. That's it. More progress probably tomorrow on this grinding business, maybe some more welding, but yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll make a real video with actual editing sometime next week after this track day. Hopefully rubber stays down on the ground. Peace.